This is a beautifully theatrical mentalism effect. It involves one of the world's most popular images, the Mona Lisa. There's so many things about this effect I really like. I love the fact that it's self-working, that it never misses, that it's nice and dramatic, that the structure stuff, that you get this beautiful prediction opening at the end, that if you watch your cards right, it can instantly reset. There's so much about this I love. So for starters, you're going to have the two postcards. One is a postcard where all the pieces are ordinary, okay? They're all the way they should be, where they're a colorful image on one side and mostly blank postcard on the other, with the usual stamp box and a few other things on there. The other postcard is all double-faced pieces. They're specially printed. They're all the exact same on both sides. So you start by cutting both postcards into their pieces. Now this is where if you have one of these little plastic wallets, it's really helpful because it's very nice to be able to carry everything together, of course, one on one side, one on the other. Sometimes I'll put rubber bands around both and I won't use one of these. I just put rubber bands around them, keep them in my pocket. But this is a really nice way to keep it all together. This can be in here. You have a clip or rubber band and you're good to go. Now the handling on it, when I show this for people, in the real world, I do not switch these two postcards. I don't bother, okay? All I do is I come out and I say, look, I've got a bunch of, and I make sure these are mixed up. And here like this, I don't even get these involved, all right? So you're like this. Now the one force, but you're going to want to, the one force one you have is this one. This is the one that you're going to force. I'll show you a way to force that really quickly. So what you could do is have that one. This is the force piece. It is the ordinary. It's not the double-faced piece, okay? So my point is this, though, is that if you want, you can switch these, and I'll show you how to do this, the postcards, in a second. But in the real world, frankly, all I ever do is take out, most of the time what I do is I handle, I've got my one, I remove the one force piece that matches, okay? So I get rid of my double-facer. So I've got this piece is legit. All of the other pieces, I think there's 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the other 7, these are all double facers. And all I do is I start by saying, look, I'm going to try something here. I'll give you a whole bunch of random choices, but I'm going to have this prediction, hand this to somebody, and somebody holds on to this prediction, all right? Say we're going to use the postcard I got in France at the Louvre, and it's a postcard of the Mona Lisa, and what I've done is I've cut the pieces. I've cut them in, and nobody ever notices. I mean, it's amazing. I can just show these on both sides, and they just look like cut-up postcards. Nobody ever suspects they're double-sided pieces of a postcard, some tricky magician thing. Okay, so in the real world, all I do is this, and what I'll do is I'll say, look, I've got 8 pieces here. Let's see, and I count them, and then I'll make sure that the force piece always ends up on top. And then I say, name a number between 1 and 8. Doesn't matter. And they say 5. And I go, okay, what I want you to do is count these down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. And I take the pile, I just kind of put it back up on top, and this is called the counting force, because now I've made sure that when they count down the randomly chosen number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they get the force. Okay, they always get the force with this. If it's the top one, if they say 3, you count down 1, 2, 3, one on top of the other, gather the packet, put them back up on top. You've reversed ordered the top 3 cards, so that when they take them and they go 1, 2, 3 and put their hand on it, it's the force one. So that's the force one. They are holding on to that one. They got their hand on it. You put a salt shaker on it, whatever. These I hand to somebody and say, I want you to take them, put them behind your back and mix them up, which they do. They mix them up and they mix them up and they mix them up, okay? And I say you can even turn some of them over. That's the great thing. So behind their back, they're turning pieces over. If somebody drops a piece, which happens once in a while, do not freak out. Just pick it up, add it back to the pile. Nobody is going to be watching a slow-mo video of the piece turn over on the ground to see that it's the same on both sides, okay? So fair. That's what I love about this. They do it. They mix them up. They turn them over. They bring them forward. Okay? Now, when I lay these out on the table, I'm going to say, watch very carefully. I am not going to alter the order. I'm not going to turn over any of them. Not going to alter the order in any way. Okay? I just lay them out on the table. And I do not alter the order. And I do not turn over any. But of course, as long as you make sure to lay them out on the table when they come up in such a way, okay? When you're going through these, as long as you lay them out on the table in such a way as they're going to match your prediction order, okay? Because these are double facers, there's no way you're not always going to get exactly the perfect pieces. So, after they've shuffled them all up and things, I take them back and I slowly lay them down on the table like this. And then I say, you know, I had the prediction here. and I have somebody who's had my prediction from the beginning, and I said, I want you to see here, and I open it up, and I want you to see, and I try to open up in a way not to flash that piece yet. I want you to see that my prediction perfectly match. In fact, sometimes what I say is I arrange the pieces, I mix them up, I lay them on a photocopier the other day or this morning or last night, and boom, and then so this sort of explains why you have it. But you have this impossible prediction. They had so many random choices between the shuffling, between the twirling, between the turning over, and yet you perfectly predicted each one of their choices. I mean, it's really an incredible self-working prediction effect. And then as the kicker, of course, you have this person, and maybe this person, you force it in such a way so it's face down the entire time. That can be nice and dramatic, okay? That way they're holding it the entire time, and as a nice little kicker finish on this, you say, and as for the missing, I even predicted which piece would be missing. I knew it would be that one. Go ahead, turn this one over. And so you have this beautiful final finish where it matches the prediction, real sense of theater. Now, that's the trick. That's the way I do it. Very bare bones, leaving lots of room for interaction. But if you, in fact, want to start with this other packet here, okay, rubber band around these, take this off, okay, you can have your force, this is your force one, you can have that. You can have these examined. These can be examined. Everyone will examine them and find that they are all ordinary cut pieces, and you can hand these out and blah, 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 whatever ordinary pieces even means to lay people. They can be examined, all right? Then, if you have this packet with a rubber band around it, or just even the loose pieces in your pocket, whatever's going to work, and you want to switch these for those, notice how simple this is. Because I can have all my ordinary pieces and my force piece on top. I can do my count to 7 force. They say 3, and we go, okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3, and make sure I force this on, and they've got that. I gather these back up, and I say, now along with these pieces, I also have a prediction. And I go to my pockets, or I go to my case and a stand-up show, whatever I want. And if I even put a rubber band back around these if I want to, or they can be loose. But now I just go to get the prediction. And when I get the prediction with my right hand, my left hand in my pocket, just switches one packet for the other, comes back out, all focuses on the prediction, put those on the table, say someone hold on to my prediction, which they do. And now I take the rubber band off these, and I am good to go. I've got just what I need. I've got my 7 double face cards. They can mix, they can shuffle the whole thing. I personally do not think you need to have the pieces examined beforehand. I don't think it's required. And like I said, I seldom do it. But it's nice to have that option, to have them examined beforehand, do the switch, and go right into this shocking trick. I mean, this is the kind of thing you can do card tricks and coin tricks, which I love. You can do dry mentalism that's sort of on a pad of paper, which is great. But when you do something that gets them involved, that seems absolutely inexplicable, where they have a bunch of free choices, and it involves one of the world's most famous and sort of emotionally engaging images, the Mona Lisa, then you have something you can really call a reputation-making trick.